I'd say probably the most common question, well, we got a lot of questions around these parts, but one of the most common questions is, what is your green XP ship recommendations? Come on here, we got the Paolo Emilio. YOLO Emilio, aka the Pablo's got a lot of different names. Sleeping Giant Domination Mode is the name of the game here. This ship, though it requires a little bit of a journey as a player to fully utilize, okay? As a destroyer player, you're going to start off as a yellower. Okay, you're going to rush battleships, try and torp them. Perhaps you'll hit them, perhaps not, but you will be sunk. Okay, that's a given. That's the starting point. And then as you start to figure out the game, okay, maybe we're going to try and get some caps, maybe fight some destroyers, throw some torpedoes out there while we're at it. Okay, that's the progression. Okay, now you become a good destroyer player. Now, we land in the Pablo's pilot seat. What do? We go back to our roots. That's right, we rush battleships. In fact, this thing is spacecraft certified. You can fly into black holes, directly into the center of a black hole, and completely destroy it. Okay, scientists still have not figured out how this thing works, and yet here it is, alive and well in our game. Okay, so in my opinion, the Paolo Emilio, probably the most fun ship in the game, but it is not the easiest. In fact, when I first got this ship, it actually took me a little while to figure it out because I was trying to play it as a normal destroyer. But normal destroyers hyper focused on capturing bases, killing other destroyers, right? Which is still the opening move for the Pablo. But it's not that good at either, okay? It's got high detection. It's got slow firing guns. Yes, they pack a little bit of a punch. Sure, you can hit those destroyers pretty hard, but they're going to outgun you in general. And depending on the support ship situation, if you're closer to the reds than they are to the blues, you might have a hard time. Okay, so figuring out how to get through this opening part of the battle is kind of the difficult part of this ship. All right, so how are we going to do this here? Well, we're moving into B, and we got the Tashkent coming in. Now we've convinced the Tashkent to go ahead and pop the smoke. He's going to return fire here. That's not a ship that I want to necessarily fight 1v1, but he pops the smoke there, and we continue to be spotted here, which is causing me a little bit of a migraine or a little bit of disconcertion, whatever you want to call it. It's causing me sleepless nights at this point in time. So we go ahead and pop our own smoke, which is not ideal. Okay, we want to use this offensively, but we kind of use that partially defensively and partially because of this Vanguard. He's coming in hot, and we are going to come in hot in response. Okay, this is what we're trying to do with the ship. Now we got to be realizing, okay, that the Tashkent over there, he's got some torps, and we don't know where he is, but we are dead set on sinking this thing. Okay, widespread to start off. We're like, hallelujah, and then narrow spread. What are you doing, man? Don't change up. Threw me for a loop. I thought that first sight of the widespread torps were like, oh yeah, but no, he got us with the follow-up second one. Nevertheless, Vanguard goes down. We traded half our health for that play, though. That's kind of a costly play here. And speaking of the health, 24,004. And note, we don't have our typical destroyer build in here. Normally Bay, normally Sims. Bay, increase the concealment. Sims, increase the health at a fixed rate, which disproportionately benefits destroyers over other classes, especially like battleships, which adding a couple 2,000-3,000 health to your battleship, not that effective, but to your destroyer, normally that's a huge percentage boost, okay? But here we got this blue character who had speed, and that's just going to build into the playstyle that we're going to see later in the game, the YOLO style. That many players, they're born to do it. They do it naturally out of the womb, but they're not very good at it. But once again, when you complete your journey and you get into the Paolo Emilio, then that playstyle shines. Okay, so we've kind of cleared out the middle here, and we were a little bit confused. We thought we were chasing the Tashkent north, but if you saw him on the map there a moment ago, there he is right there. But we saw him early on the map just briefly. He actually snuck into C, which is under red control. So red controls C, the east. We control B, but we don't yet actually possess it, if you understand what I'm saying. And then A, you know, who cares about A on this map? It's kind of a goofballer position. Indianapolis, born to kill destroyers. We saw him kind of respond with the engine after we got spotted there. He's saying to himself, all right, this is what I was sent here to do. We got to kill the destroyer. It's going to be the last destroyer on the blue team. That could be a huge turning point on the game. We tore up the gap. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and shoot at him, make sure he's still interested. And we'll do a little bit of damage while we're at it. Go ahead and switch over to the AP there. First torp blocked by the Ellen. We let off a couple guys on the beach, that's fine. Boom, boom, dead. He gone! And that's the torpedo strike power here. These torps hit like a truck. Okay, I don't know how they compare to like a Yudachi or Shima, but they're up there. Okay, I don't have the stats in front of me, forgive me. But they hit basically just as hard. If you're getting whacked by these things, you're going to take maybe 2, maybe 3 at the most, and then you're dead. Okay, so Pablo, kind of the name of the game with this thing is if you get in close to the enemy, they die. Okay, and I almost figured it out how to play the ship more by having them come towards me than actually trying it out when I got the ship all loaned to me by the community contributor program right off the bat. Of course, we had a few guys chiming in on the streams, members or viewers of the channel at the very least, saying, you know, go crazy. And I was like, come on, man, we're not going to go crazy. I've been spending 2.5 years trying to get people to stop going crazy in destroyers, but we figured it out eventually, and now we're about to see this thing in action here. Now, we did see this clip coming up here briefly. I shot this for B-roll on my best premiums of 2021, so those of you that watched that video and were paying attention, you might recognize this play coming over here. But this is kind of what it's all about. Now, this isn't even going to go down as a double strike, but I've got more double strikes per capita. Krakens per capita is obviously not the right term, but you know, the frequency of double strikes, Krakens, Hegon, dev strikes, whatever you want to call them, this thing just does it, okay? Because if you can get this thing in close, and that's what it's designed to do, then the enemy basically can't avoid it. So here we're moving into C, and now this Amalfi's alerted. You can see he basically responds right off the bat. Now, I don't know if he for sure was watching the captain immediately responding, or he was just disengaging, but nevertheless, we pop our rolling smoke, launch the first set of torps, but we got to close in here. We got to get to that 2-kilometer proxy spot, and here we see that he's already kind of dodged to avoid the first set. We respond with the second set. Boom, we were initially going to turn the guns to the other side, but we reposition them, load the AP in there, get the shot off just in time for another Hegon right there. And look out, Champagne, you're a little bit too close. 4.5 kilometers, give or take. That's too close to this thing. You can't get too close to this. And time to target, not within the 10 seconds needed for the double strike, which is what we crave. But nevertheless, torps on target, we anticipate the turnout, and that's a dead Champagne right there. Okay, you see him go down just a moment ago. 4 kills. We're in the process of achieving the second cap. 30 seconds left. We're not going to go flying out of here, guys. Come on, just because we're in the YOLO Mila doesn't mean we're going to completely abandon proper play. We're still going to capture the caps, right? Because we're only up 4 ships to 2. You guys ever seen Red Team turn that sort of a lead around? Because I have. I've seen it basically on a daily basis for years and years and years. Spotted by the plane, I'm like, no big deal. Let's see if we can shoot down this plane. But one of these cheeky guys over there actually fired a shot, and it's going to be one of these Santa enhancements or whatever. And there comes the shot right there, the red colored tracers. Nice shot, good awareness, willingness to shoot destroyers across the map. That's a commendable shot, no doubt about it. I was like, okay, well, if that's how this is going to go down, I'm no longer content with the win, which we've more or less already secured. All we got to do is defend B, but you've kind of stirred the ire of the Paolo Emilio, and now we're going to go for the Kraken, okay? So, first up, pop the speed boost, okay? Now this thing can get humming with the speed boost. Once we stop fiddling around with the rudder here, you can see 45, 46, whatever we're going to top out at. Looks like about 47 kilometers, or knots, with the knots with the speed boost here. You know, it's a fast little bugger. Going to the left of the gap. We're not going straight for the gap because we don't know who's going to pop out and we don't know when. But once again, we do have high detectability, so I want to be as close to that island as possible. Number one, if we have to turn left to disengage, fine. We have that option. But number two, if they don't come through the gap immediately, then we can close in basically point-blank range. Miyoko does poke his head out here, though. Go ahead and launch one torp. Go ahead and get that second torp off. Keep in mind, one dedicated launcher per side and then one in the middle that can service both sides. And we're thinking, okay, well, he slammed on the brakes. He's probably going to back up, so we're expecting to miss that torp strike. But he's like, no, I got to kill the destroyer. Teammates wipe him out before those torps can hit him. Okay, I think we probably would have hit him unless he gunned at full speed, but obviously was in trouble. Florida remains, though. Look at him. He was refueling off the Miyoko a moment ago before it sunk, getting smacked through the nose, as the Floridas want to do because it's completely incapable of defending itself. We take a low percentage chance launching right at the nose-in battleship, but 1 and 2 shots for the Kraken there, and down he goes. So that's a look at the Paolo Emilio for you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it, and if you did, please hit the thumbs up. Hey, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships, and it's coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave below. Love to hear from you guys, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.